And let's get this party started. Hey, and welcome to the Six Nutz Podcast. We are three comedians, six nuts. I'm your host, Dave, joined as always by Jordan Angus and a slightly out of breath Paul Bourgon. There is a story there, but welcome, gentlemen. Episode 55. How are we feeling after a week away?
I miss you guys.
Like right now or in general?
Let's have right now.
I'm out of breath right now, but I'm good. Yeah.
There is a story around that, and we'll get to that in a second. Welcome, everybody. Episode 55. We are the Six Nuts Podcast. Before we get started, I want to encourage you to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow us on social media. Look down right below Paul. You can see scrolling across the bottom how you can do that. And I want to actually talk about episode 54. Our last episode, we had a very special guest, Michael Burada, who is a magician. I guess he's a magician / comedian, a very funny magician, super talented guy. Go back and watch that episode, man. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Paul, you did a show with him.
I did 2 shows actually.
Yeah. So maybe just share with us how that went before we get to Hold the Gear and
it was good. He asked me originally to do open, right? And I mean it's I guess it's a little different from doing a regular set. And I was like, yeah, cool. And he asked me, could you do 12, 15 minutes or so? Like, we'll see how it goes. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. That's what you always say. Like, can you do 3 hours? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
And
no problem.
So because I had to I was trying to come up with stuff to bounce off the crowd, you know what I mean? Do kind of crowd work, so to speak. I totally shit the bed, in my opinion, right? People said it was funny. Some girl tipped me $20. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyway, I just I was I would say I was frazzled. It's a perfect way to put it. I kind of didn't say one thing, and I knew that kind of those keywords would lead into the next one. And I talked about Police Academy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for 5 minutes straight, and nobody was biting. In my opinion, in my mind, it's everybody's seen Police Academy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, I'm pretty sure everybody's watched them all back to back, just like I have.
Yeah.
And so the more they weren't laughing, the more I was backpedaling, trying to explain it, to get them to laugh. And it was just I just had to gave up on it. And one of the things my mother said to me, she's have fun with it, and if all else fails, tell the dildo story, right?
Yeah.
So I told that dildo story. It was, people were more I wasn't as jovial with it as I was telling them it was a serious story, which it is. But anyway, Friday night was a little rusty for me, but Saturday night I went in guns blazing, and it was really good. But all in all, they were both really awesome, and he wants to do it again next month, I think. So hopefully it's a regular thing. But yeah, it was fun. Fun to do.
Right on. So we got a couple of great segments today. We're going to do pet peeves a little bit later on. We're going to do hold my beer in a second. But Paul, so maybe just set it up because it was a different crowd, right? Were they there to watch magic, or were they there to see comedy? Because it would be a very different crowd, right?
Well, of course. And ultimately they were there for magic, and it was, I'd say no different really from the kind of crowd you get at a club or whatever.
Right.
A little older, which is whatever, but you would have think they'd seen Police Academy then if you were a little older.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they forgot if they're that old.
But so he advertised it as comedy and magic, right? So you know, when you hear like, oh, it was a rough crowd tonight, or oh, it was just, you know, when for me personally, when people kind of try to, I don't know if they're trying to like take the pressure off me beating myself up by like, oh, the crowd was just different, or oh, people just weren't in it, or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I'm under the mentality like that I should be able to captivate every audience, you know, like in my mind, and I know that's impossible, right? But you know, like it's sort of like the old adage, know your crowd, you know, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But you know, I just kicked off some rust the first night, sort of thing, you know, and I had a lot of time to think about it that night, and you know, the next day, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna hit him with some material, you know, and try to segue that into talking to the crowd, you know, like like I talked about like, instead of just coming out and doing a set, you know, like I've been opening up with a joke lately where I just kind of like looked at the crowd and I'm like, does anybody ever wonder about what Rapunzel's pubes were like? And like you hear like laugh, and then people start to get it, and that's in my mind that makes me happy because they're thinking about it, like what, you know. And so I like segue that in, well, I preface, I should say, talking about like, you know, I don't really do my act, you know, with one of these things, you know. I know, like, I want to talk to you guys and get you warmed up, like this is what I'm saying to the crowd, and I'm like, you know, like I normally start off my sets with like crazy material like that, and I mean, and then I was like, you know, it's usually weird things like that, you know, to kind of get you thinking, you know. And I found I was able to, however an MC or however a host should be when they're talking, like, hey, anybody celebrating birthdays or anybody got you know, that kind of stuff. I was sort of able to, you know, mix that in as opposed to just getting up and doing a set. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure, man.
So, like I said, I got off stage and I just, you know, I wasn't totally pleased with it. Even though people came up after and they're like, "Oh, that was great," you know, but like,
yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of them tomorrow. Like, I'll be damned if he asked me to open for him, you know, for the first time ever, and I just, you know, go down like a shit puddle kind of thing. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. It was really fun. It was a fun experience, and it was a good room too. Real good room. The upstairs of the Prescott, like they got a really good setup. And the way he had it set up, it was no different from a comedy club.
Right on.
Yeah. So it was really good in that sense.
Very glad to hear that you bounced back for a solid night too. You will notice that Jordan is wearing his Sens attire. Jordan, I know you got a personal message for Leaf fans. Do you want to deliver that before or after Hold My Beer?
I gotta do it after Hold My Beer, man. I need some.
He needs to be lubed up for this one. All right, let's get to our favorite segment. It's called Hold My Beer.
You're watching Six Nutz Podcast, and this is how I hold my beer.
Oh, yes. We all love how Aiden holds his beer. Good old Aiden from, where the hell's he from? What's that place?
Canada.
Manitic. Thank you. All right. This is Hold My Beer, where we go around the virtual room and we introduce our beverage of choice for episode 55. Paul, you got a story with this one, man. So let's start with you.
Again,
beverage of choice.
You know, like 10 minutes before we start recording, I like open my fridge and I'm like, aha! So, thankfully, they sell beer at convenience stores now. Excuse me. So I like had to message you guys and be like, I'm going to be a couple minutes late, and I had to like bolt down the street and go in and buy one beer and be like, hey, no receipt, no, I'm good. Yeah, it's good. I'm like waiting for the ATM thing to finally, it's good. Yeah, okay. You know. Both back here, and I didn't even back. I usually back my car into my driveway. I pulled my car into the driveway. Everything felt weird, you know.
Is the car probably still running?
Yeah. The door's open. Yeah.
Anyway, exactly.
Yeah. So the beer I picked up was I wanted to get something. I guess I don't think I've tried this before. It's a mascot beer. It's lightweight, light lager.
Is that a guy lifting weights on the front?
Guy lifting weights. Yeah.
Called mascot beer.
It's Mascot Chill Craft.
Chill Craft.
I've never heard. I just saw something I've never tried, and
Just grab
It's all
the
Jordan's
first thing
fault.
you
Like that's
saw.
another thing of anxiety. You know, so many things. Yeah. You know, I'm so stressed out drinking this beer. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll give it a whirl here. Cheers.
Cheers. He's downing the Mascot Chillcraft beer.
And it's really good.
Rating out of 10. Oh, he needs to take a second swig.
It's very good, actually. It's really good. 8.118.
8.118.
Yeah, it's really good.
Solid. We give that one 8.118 for the Mascot Chill.
It says
All right.
light lager on it. Light lager.
Light lager.
Yeah.
All right. I will go next. And then, Jordan, when you introduce your beer, if you want to just dovetail that into your message to Leaf fans,
No problem.
you can do that. So I've got from the Muskoka Brewery, it's called Mad Tom. And you'll notice the guy in the front looks like Seamus.
Looks like Chad Noonan.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you could say that. A little Chad Noonan there. Maybe a mix between Chad Noonan and Seamus, the famous WWE wrestler.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking groundskeeper Willie. Yeah.
This is an IPA, and I hate it. I'll be honest.
Oh, I hate
it.
IPA.
Tastes like It tastes like cat piss.
To IPA.
It's yeah, you could say that, and I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Okay.
Boo.
Lovely folks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Love to hear that.
I don't care. All right, that's my beverage for today. Jordan, let's go to you, your beverage, and then go into your Leaf rant, baby.
Perfect. I got another Broadhead beer. I think it's the last Broadhead beer I have in the fridge. It's called an Espresso Porter, Taproom Series, release number 118. So I normally like Broadhead beers, but I don't know about this one. I'm not huge on porters, so we'll see. We'll see. Oh, yeah.
Delicious.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Nope.
Well, we gave them a really good review last one. Like they can't all be,
No, they can't all be winners. Yeah, it's got a funky aftertaste too. Oh God, I'm gonna give that one a 2.3.
At 2.3, that's a horse. So we've had 2 loser beers, man. I don't think we've ever had 2 loser beers in the same episode.
I don't think so, but that's disgusting. It's almost as gross as the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go on solo mode for this, man?
No, I want to see your face. I know Paul's like whatever, but
No, not at all. I've been watching them too. I'm very very tied into it.
You got to explain it too, though, Jordan, because your girlfriend Monica,
yeah,
humongous Leaf fan. Like
it is. It's the only issue we really have in our relationship is the fact that I'm a Sens fan and she's a Toronto Maple Loser fan. It's just we can't agree on the team, and I watched some of the plays and I'm like, really, you think that's okay? Like the Ridley Craig open net slap shot, yeah, mint, beautiful. Just
you want me to put that up there?
Hell yeah, it's just for those Leafs fans who watch it. Look at that, just so hot, completely open slapper. And then Morgan Riley,
oh yeah,
Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman with the
look at this.
What is this gutless?
That's horrible, man.
You cross-check him in the face/neck because your feelings are hurt. There's no goalie in the net, man. You're upset because he hurt your transparent friend's feelings? This is our barn, you jackass. Ugh. Anyway,
for context, the Leafs are up 3-0 at the time of this recording. Game 4 is tonight, and in Ottawa, I believe Jordan is going to be there.
Yep, I will be there.
So,
and
a lot of hostility.
That's the sad thing, eh? Like the Leafs fans, you're up 3-0 with your track record and your history. I wouldn't be celebrating shit until like the end of the third if you guys are up. Like they're all dancing, they're pulling out their brooms because they don't do regular spring cleaning, and they're all like, "Oh, the sweep's in." Like, didn't you guys lose to Boston like twice and you were ahead in the series both times? Chill out.
Yes,
we all know that Austin Matthews loves his tee times. And when he finally realizes, oh, crap, I'm going to have to play hockey still, boys, let's fucking mail it in. Like, let's no. Like, the golf courses and the greens look great in May. I don't want to be playing hockey still. And I don't know about you guys, but have you seen the reffing of this series?
It's been horrible.
It's
Horrible, man.
The Toronto Maple refs, man. What are you calling? They're blind.
Nothing. That's the problem, man.
They're calling dog shit all on us the whole time. Anthony Stollers, the Toronto Maple Leafs goalie, is beating the shit out of Ridley Craig, and somehow
Horrible.
he gets the penalty. For what?
Horrible.
You know what's bad? I was at game 3, okay? You know what's bad? When I'm at game 3, I'm sitting beside a Leaf fan, and the ref is constantly kicking Sens players out of the face-off circle, and the Leafs fan's like, holy fuck, just let him play. That's how bad the reffing is. When the Leaf fan is annoyed that he's getting the Sens called out of bullshit.
He's a great ref, man.
You
Keep
do
going,
realize,
man. I love it.
You guys realize, like this is a game. Like,
I know.
It's like snakes and ladders.
I know, Paul.
It's cartouche. It's crazy.
It's more than that, man. It's a religion. This is Canada, man.
It is grown men playing a game well. Okay.
Do you know what it is for me, Paul? It's I as a comic, you'll understand. You have to follow the pop culture and everything that's kind of going on, and it's depressing. And so I need something that distracts myself.
Dude.
I use sports. I watch football during football season. I watch hockey during hockey season. I just need a distraction from the bullshit, so I'm not going to work every single day depressed. Okay?
But that's what I'm saying. Like I watch the game, and when they lose, I go, oh, that sucks, and I turn it off, and then I'm automatically on to the next thing. That I don't like. I called my sister after the game, and I had a question to ask her, and she's like, hello. I'm like, hey. She's like, so I'm like, what's wrong? You mad because the Sens lost? She's like, 3 minutes, three, nothing in the series. You know, like, she's going to the game tonight. For her birthday, her daughter and her son, my niece and nephew, bought her one ticket front row.
Oh wow!
Like right by the glass, right? It was like $750 or something.
Holy shit!
You're not gonna go to the freaking game and like you're gonna get swept. It's just like I'm laughing at my friends. Like it's a friggin' game. Like it's all it is. You know, it's
more than that to some people, man. Like
and
my dad.
Listen, to whoever it is, they need to take a step back. Both of you. Like my sister, you need to step back and just like, it's a friggin' game. That's it. And like for you to, like, people die over these things. Literally, people get murdered over these games. You go to the friggin' to England and you wear the wrong color. Like, you know, you wouldn't know, but you stepped into Crip Town wearing friggin', you know, the Kool-Aid guy. Like,
well, I'll be honest with you. Paul. At the start of the series, I was like, you know, I'm just happy to be here. I figured the Leafs are going to beat us. That's okay. I'm just happy to be in the playoff series. But as I'm watching the game and the bullshit I'm seeing, I'm trying to be like, it's just a game. It's just a game. But after a while, you go, what the fuck was that? Like,
yeah, but that's you're lying to yourself then when you say it's just a game. Like, you need to look yourself in the mirror and be like, Jordan, don't. Like, and I get it. People are passionate about it. Like, that's the reason why it generates so much money. The reason why, but like, it's pushed down your throats for a reason, right? Like, there's a Sens Mile because it generates so much money. It's every freaking commercial. Like, you listen to the commentators in between periods. They're just telling you stats. They're just telling you things that he did. Like, he did. I see where he passed the puck here and he looked up. That's a good thing. And then they compare him to someone. There's nothing to talk about. You interview these players mid-period. Yeah, hopefully we'll get the puck there around the net, and then hopefully defense will kick in, and let's we'll take the win.
I enjoy watching Mark's in between periods because you can tell he has some connection to
he's
it, right?
A player, man. He's still a
100%.
player.
Yeah, and
I'll agree with you. He's very, very, very entertaining to watch.
That's Mark Mathot. Mark Mathot, right?
Yeah, he's got a silver tongue, right? Like my buddy Brendan too. Brendan Bell, he was like that as well. When they interviewed them, they weren't just like, and not everybody's not everybody's a voice coach. Not everybody's let's say educated in a way that they can pull out all these big fancy book words, like Ricky from Trailer Park Boys says. But he's just very, very well spoken, so he can he's entertaining to be interviewed, much less be on the panel in between periods, right? So
Yeah,
But you know what? For some people, it's a religion. Like I'm going to tell you guys what happened on game one. Okay, game one happened on Saturday, and we were hosting a Easter dinner, so we had like 15 people, so family and friends. And my dad has been a Leaf fan since 1900s, 1920, whatever, like since the 50s. So he lives and dies by the Leafs, man. Like he is so into it. And my brother-in-law, who is Scottish, and he's a big soccer fan. So he brings that soccer mentality to hockey as a fan. And he's a big Sens fan. So in one side of the room, you got my dad, Leafs fan. On the other side of the room, my brother-in-law, huge Sens fan. And the Leafs blew out. They blew us out 6-2. But after the second period, there was something happening in the game. My brother-in-law gets up, says, I can't watch anymore. So he gets up and he left. He just got up and left. And my dad was so mad. And he gets into a zone. So you can't talk to him when the game's on because he's so focused. There's 15 people around him talking. He doesn't hear anything. He's just watching the game. And he doesn't listen or talk to anybody. He's so into it. I'm like, my God, Dad, you need to just get over it, man.
that kind of heated passion. For sports. I mean, I respect it. I mean, just because I don't have it really for anything, like kind of like Van Damme movies, right? But I mean, like I don't have really anything that I like. Everybody shut up! It's on, But I know people. There's millions of people out there like that, like worse than you, Jordan. I have half my buddies. When there was no sports on and they couldn't bet, that's another thing too. When you start betting on these things, don't even go. Don't even go out to be with them because every single minute, second of the game is crucial. It's crucial because you bet on everything, right? You bet on whether or not this guy passes to that guy. You bet on Super Bowls, like where the coins, what the heads or tails. It's like, oh my God, man, you're. No wonder people have gambling problems. No wonder every bet 555, every gambling commercial is like, if you have a problem gambling, contact this number. Like, right after I place my bet, right?
Yeah.
Me, it's fantasy football. That's like my. I don't pay to play it, but
it's insanity. It's insanity, and again, it's something to do. It really
I know a guy I work with. He's in like 6 fantasy pools. I'm like, how do you have time to do even 2? But you're in 6? Like you're nuts, man. You spend all your time looking at fucking player stats and this and that. Man, get a life, man. That's
too much. 6 is a lot. I can understand 1 or 2.
It sort of is the perfect statement. Excuse me. It's really burpy beer. This is to say get a life, but like coming from me, to say get a life.
Get a life, man. You should stay home, watch movies.
Wait till we get to the pet peeves thing. I'll touch back on this, but I'm one to point the finger when it comes to that, right? But like, if you're passionate about it, great. But if you're like, if it ruins the rest of your day or never, like, puts you in a depression, I've seen people cry over these losses. And it's like, Christ, man, what would you do if your cat died? Like,
I don't have a dad.
I'd put a Leaf jersey on him and bury it.
Jeez.
Anyway, so Jordan, before we move on, do you have any one final word to the Leaf fans, or did you get it all off your chest?
I just hope everyone has fun.
Yes, have fun, boys.
I will. I'm going to say something. I was at Game 3, and I want to say the fact that Sens fans pretty much filled up that building, and it wasn't just a sea of blue. That is really, it's great to see. And I will say the Leaf fans who were there at the game, thank you for at least being civilized, not like the ones during the regular season where you guys are causing fights and stuff like that. It is, like Paul said at the end of the day, it is just a game. A lot of our friends and family are mixed up Leaf and Sens fans. So, everybody just wants to get home safe at the end of the day. No reason to fight and act like a moron. At the end of the day, it doesn't really change anything in your lives. It shouldn't. So that's it. It's been nice to be back in the playoffs. It sucks that it had to be against Toronto in the first round, but at the same time, as a kid growing up for the original Battle of Ontario, it's been nice to kind of relive
It's fun.
that old rivalry. So that's
It's
it.
fun.
It has been fun. I'm glad to have playoffs.
You should segue that into the Battle of Ontario that's coming up.
Yeah, that's right. Just like
Perfect.
playoffs, June 6th, we have the Battle of Ontario and Van Cleek Hill. Tickets will be going on sale after this weekend. We have,
Beautiful.
it is the final rematch in unbiased territories, Team Ottawa versus Team Cornwall. This is the tiebreaker. There's an hour away from Cornwall. It's an hour away from Cornwall, an hour away from Ottawa. There will be no favoritism. So I'm looking for a nice, fair matchup. We're doing 3-on-3 this time instead of 4-on-4. We got solid lineup. Cornwall's ready to bring their heat. Ottawa, I'm hoping you guys, like, you can't keep losing, man. You can't keep losing.
You can't keep losing. That's awesome, man.
That's it. All proceeds, majority of the proceeds, because I make sure everybody gets paid, but majority of the proceeds are going to the Russell Prescott Trail to help maintain that. So
Nice.
That'll be good. And we're just going to have a fun night, man.
That's,
I love Van
that's stupid.
Yeah,
Well,
how
that's
dare you? That's awesome, man.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, like,
It is
you know,
very cool. Is
are
that a
they trying to
Saturday?
get rid of it or something? Or they?
No. So it's like, I think it's like 72-kilometer trail that needs to be maintained and that. So that comes from like volunteer work and stuff like that. So
Okay.
Eric Collar does usually he does Bose Brewery and Bank Creek Vineyard, which is where we'll be doing the Battle of Ontario. So his comedy shows raise money for that.
It's the
So,
PBS of trails.
Yeah, basically. Thanks to the audience members who show up, we're able to make sure that the trail is maintained and safe for everybody to use. And it's going to a good local cause. So
Nice. So that is Friday, June the 6th.
Yep.
And can you repeat the venue and the location?
It's the Van Cleek Hill Vineyard. Yeah,
Okay.
It's amazing wine. I don't like wine, but I actually enjoy both their red and their white wine.
Love
And the
red
apple
wine.
cider is pretty good too. So yeah, please follow them on Instagram. Scott and Teresa will appreciate it. They're amazing people. Amazing people.
Cool.
Excellent. Right on. So more info coming on that very,
Right.
very soon. The Battle of Ontario, Cornwall versus Ottawa. Love
I
it,
can't
man.
wait to release the poster, man. It's so funny.
It's
That's
going to
awesome.
be great.
Yeah.
All right. So we are a kind of a podcast, comedy podcast.
We
We've
are.
been talking sports. So I have a kind of a serious question, comedy related, I wanted to throw out to you guys.
Okay.
A question that I heard asked this past week about comedians. So obviously we are comedians. Jordan has been in the game the longest compared to Paul and I. So the question I want to throw out is, what is the, in your opinion, gentlemen, the most important quality for a comedian to have? And I thought there's a lot of different answers, and everybody's going to have a different answer. But in your opinion, the most important quality for a comedian?
Who
to
wants
have.
to start? Who wants to start?
Go ahead.
I'll throw it out there, man.
I think the most important quality is stage presence. I think that as soon as you hop up on that stage, the crowd's already decided whether or not they like you just by your demeanor and your energy and your presence. Your jokes could be very mild, not that funny. If somebody else said it, they're not going to find it funny. But it's your stage presence, right? Like if they instantly are attracted to your stage presence, your joke could be whatever, and they will laugh at it just because of your stage presence. So I think as a comic, you need to have that stage presence. You need to command the stage. That would, for me, is the most important.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
There's- It's not the only one, but
Yeah,
it's,
no, it's definitely not the only one. I'm toying with just what I was thinking of, and then when I heard that, I mean, it does make total sense. I was thinking discipline. Discipline to be able to, in so many different ways. Discipline to be able to write jokes. Discipline to be able to, believe in yourself. Discipline to be able to take whatever kind of criticism or discipline to be able to not let things get to you, like, if it's, other comedians, or if it's not getting a show, or if it's not having a good show, like all that kind of stuff. I think discipline in keeping yourself focused, and, like Dave, how you say, like, every time I go to Meow, I want to quit comedy kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it kind of isn't. You're not the only one, right? Like, there's a lot of times. I mean, you have a bad show, and you're like, man, like, what am I doing wrong? And again, discipline, right? Like, I find with a lot of times I'm doing sets, especially even now, like, it changes. Even if I'm doing new jokes, or jokes that I've done, dozens of times, they're always a little bit different. We can all agree on that. Your inflection's different or whatever, but like, you're changing them up, and like, you can either go one way or the other. And if it doesn't, you're like, what am I doing right? I can't seem to get this right. So I think that ultimately that discipline and being able to kind of think positive and believe in yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because, like, you don't necessarily do it with everything in your life. Like, I mean, I know myself. I'm very introspective when it comes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's gone.
People call me. I'm very introspective when it comes to things that like, bother me or whatever. Like, I like, it really can set me back, right? But if you're able to think about it positively and maneuver around whatever kind of obstacle in the most efficient way, I think it's a really good quality to have, and it'll really help you.
Yeah,
helping me.
I think my answer is kind of similar to Jordan's, and I guess similar to yours in a way, Paul. But for me, it's confidence, because if you have the confidence, I think that gives you the stage presence that you need. That no matter what crowd you're facing, you've got the confidence in your material. And I went to watch you, Paul, on Wednesday, and you kind of reminded me of something that I do that I shouldn't do anymore, but it is to kind of because you had one particular joke that I'll let you tell the story if you want, but you weren't sure, shouldn't I say it, based on the crowd, and I'm guilty probably more than anybody else is to doubt your material.
I do it every single show.
Yeah, like oh shit, is this material gonna fly? Like, you doubting your material when you're at the venue, before you go on stage. And that, to me, if you have confidence in your material, if I have confidence in my material, then it won't matter. You're just gonna go up. I'm gonna go up and do my thing, and they're gonna love it or they're not. And if you have confidence and believe in your material, they're gonna love it. Like Jordan, like you say, even if the joke isn't great, right? If you have the confidence, the audience is going to feed off that, and they're going to laugh along with you.
Good point, man. It's a really good point. That's
So
true.
Confidence.
I will say, because I can understand that, right? When the crowd, you're not sure if the crowd's going to enjoy your material. I don't know how necessarily you guys prep your sets, but I have sets usually prepped for my show, and I like to get to my shows early. It doesn't matter if it's just a 6-minute spot or whatever, just because I'm gauging what the room is. And sometimes I'll subconsciously, while I'm on stage, remove a joke and add one because I feel like it's going to hit better for the audience. It doesn't mean I'm removing it because I'm not confident in it. I just want who I'm performing for to enjoy it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But Dave, you brought it up, and it was the blacks joke that I tell.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really the joke is that it's a joke about racism, but it isn't racist.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a clever, in my opinion, way to tell a joke, right? And here I am questioning my material, especially right before you go up, and you're right. Definitely throw a wrench into things, because when I bombed on December 21st, 2021, like that time, I mean, something I'll never forget, right? But again, stay positive, stay disciplined. I mean, that was a horrible night for me, if not one of the worst of my entire life, but it was the best things that ever happened to me. It's the way I look at it, I maneuver around it. But I was looking at the crowd. It was something I did, I think one of the first times I did it, where I was like, okay, no, I can't say that. Okay, I'll try saying this. I like changed the wording of everything. It was like me on that 2 Fridays ago. You know, I didn't say one thing so that I was lost for the next one. You know, because it was new.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You know, it wasn't something that I was used to doing. Like whatever it is, whatever movement, whatever, you know, facial expression, whatever pause, you know. And yeah, it just I did it, but you're right, Dave. I might not have been as confident in it when I did it. So, you know, I mean, I might not have got the reaction that I could have if I was a lot more sure of myself.
And you know what? That particular joke, and not to I'm not picking on you, Paul, or I don't want to center you out, but I found that particular joke, people of color, the shows I've been at where you've said that joke, the people of color laughed the most.
Yep.
They laughed the hardest at that joke.
Yeah.
Because the white people, they're afraid to laugh at it. They're afraid.
And so, yeah. So basically, yeah, it's you're bang on. You're bang on. I've always noticed that. And yeah, like that's I think the Achilles heel that we're talking about when it comes to like why you're questioning things you're saying. It's because you're dealing with a crowd that, like, you know, like that won't laugh at something that's funny because they're
scared.
You know, woke or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
It's like, Christ, you know, here I am letting that now fall on my shoulders and affect me so much so that it's making me question the jokes I want to tell. So yeah, I guess we all three of us, I think.
I had that moment.
Pretty good points.
I'll touch in a little bit about in final thoughts because I've had a little bit of a break recently. But I had that moment when we did the extremely minor local celebrities, and then I had the same one at the Portage Orchard. I do a joke. Well, as you guys know, I make comments that I'm black, and I then try to joke about why I look the way I do. And so it's a little bit of a newer one. I'm trying to shorten it, and so I say I'm incognito. And
yeah.
the Rendezvous Resto Bar, the minor local celebrity one, that there is a lot of like my brothers that were working there that night.
Yeah.
And as soon as I heard it, there wasn't a lot of white people in the audience, and they laughed, they enjoyed it. And the servers, who were all black guys, they right away come and they sit down and are watching the rest of my set because they thought it was hilarious. I did that same joke on the Gatineau side at the Portage Orchard, and there was only one black woman in there, and she thought like my stuff was funny, but you could tell because of what I was saying, there was a ton of white people who were uncomfortable with it. And it's like they're looking for somebody of color to laugh so that way it's okay for them to laugh at it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're still concerned about it, that means there's still a problem.
Yeah.
It's like Paul has
100%.
said many times, we're not in this to hurt people's feelings and all that. We're all here for the same reasons. We're just here to make you laugh.
Yeah.
So
that drives me nuts, man. If you think a joke is funny, just laugh.
Yeah,
honestly, just laugh. What are you afraid of?
Like,
man?
I'm not like, it's not like I'm getting up there like freaking like I'm Calvin Candy, you know, like Leonardo DiCaprio from Django. Like, like not, okay, it's if you, and this goes for both of you as well. Like, if you look at either of us on stage and you're like, this guy's a racist, or this guy's dirty, you know, like this guy's whatever, crude, or whatever, you know, because of the things you say. Like, of course you can help yourself by like, you know, like not like I made a joke about the fact that my first 2-3 jokes like related to, you know, female anatomy, and and they were like obscure, right? Like, anyway, I just I have to kind of like either get over that hump or get over that fear of you know, oh, should I tell these 3 in a row, or maybe I can space them out and put them together a certain way. But like, I had a comedian at the end of the show on Wednesday that you're at. I noticed one of the things he was doing, you know, the way he was talking to the crowd. He would ask a question in the crowd, to a specific part of the crowd, like table full of girls, something, and they would answer, and then he would segue into his material, right? And then he asked you a question, Dave, and then you answered, and then he went into his material on it. But like, it seemed off the cuff, right? But it is planned material. But it's how he's
gauging.
to do it, right? It's a veteran move. It's something you learn from doing that for a long time. And he was trying to tell me like, like don't do this one and do it like this and don't do that. And I was like listening and I was being polite, but I was like, I gotta like respectfully, I gotta disagree. He's like, instead of telling one-liners, you should tell like stories. And I'm like, I get it, but you have to keep in mind. I mean, I only have 6 minutes, right? And how I like to, my style of comedy is, that's what I think is funny. Silly, random things. You know what I mean? So like, that is how I do my comedy. Yes, if I had 40 minutes, I would be able to space out these jokes and tell more stories, with them, right? But it's something I'd have to get up to a point, right? It's easy to say, but when someone's telling you don't do this, like don't be this way. It's hard for you to be like, oh, okay, so I should completely change who I am deep into my soul, and especially because sometimes you talk to people and they'll give you like advice or they'll give you a tag or something like that. And we've talked about it before on one of the previous podcasts. Again, goes in one ear and out the other. And then, but sometimes you talk to people and you're like, oh, it's insightful. And you kind of like, you appreciate it. You know what I mean? It's not like you don't like, it's disrespect when they're doing it, but like, you're talking to someone and they're barely looking at you and they're looking around, they're on their phone and they're like, you should be like this, so or you should just do that. And like it seems like you don't give a shit about how I do my act. So it's like your body language right now, just you and I talking. How would you take someone's advice when they don't seem like they really give a shit? They're just telling you how they are, and I get it. Not everybody is a teacher, but,
and that's hard to give advice. Like he first of all, he knows. I assume this person knows nothing about you.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
So I mean, you've got a deep admiration for Mitch Hedberg, who's a one-liner comedian, and you kind of you emulate. Well, I'm not saying you're.
I deep admiration for
That's
Eddie Murphy. I have deep admiration for the people who can tell stories, right? But like,
that's
you're
true.
right. It's my style, right? So anyway, sorry.
I got a question for you, Paul. Just because, I 100% I agree with everything you're saying. So maybe putting it a little bit perspective. How long have you been doing stand-up? 4 years?
About 4. But like I said, I my first crack at it was like in 2008. When a buddy of mine, when we went to Cornwall that time, and like didn't really prepare anything. Thought like we're funny, we're funny. Wait till they get a load of us, and like just the rude awakening, right? And then I did it 2 other times in a space of like, let's say 10 years.
But so here's my maybe perception of it, and I for you to explain to somebody, you've been doing this for 4 years now. You know what style you know what you are as a comic, as a comedian. At this point in time, especially if it's not something you're comfortable with, why would you change the way you do your craft, especially on a 6-minute set?
Correct.
You're trying to show people who you are as a comic. Either they're gonna love it or they're not. That's up to them.
Yeah.
But by you changing your identity, you're basically starting from scratch. And
100%. And you're also not going to be whatever your idea of successful is. Like I kind of feel successful when I get off a stage, and if I get laughs or people come up to me after and they say they liked it, or people are like, I can see in their eyes that they thought it was funny. They aren't just saying it. I feel like, I'm not rich, I'm not famous, but like my idea of success is when I fulfill that urge and need for the reason why I'm doing comedy, which is to make people happy, make people laugh, and make people like me, like get them to be like, I like this guy, like see their shoulders drop, see them like be able to be comfortable, and like, like, so you're right. You change your identity, you change your set. This is the last thing I'll say. Rick Rubin, I was watching this interview with Rick Rubin. He was saying the moment you stop doing your art The moment you pander, let's say, to what people want you to do as opposed to how you think is you know, is when you've lost it. You've lost yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and like it's again, you watch an interview with Rick Rubin, like he looks as if he's been living in the forest for like 30 years and he's never seen another person.
Yeah.
And like it's, you know, like I'm judging a book by its cover, right? But it's Rick Rubin. Like he's found a lot of and made a lot of people famous and, you know, found a lot of talent, you know, and been able to, he's proved himself pretty much. And I mean, that stuck with me, right? I thought that was really poignant. It was very interesting thing to like, because it's true. As soon as you start doing what other people want you to do, what's the point of what you're doing? You're losing it, you know?
Well, so when I started, I was doing like voices, impersonations, and observational comedy with the voices, mixing with stereotypes. And my style is different now than it was then, so it's not impossible to change it. But the difference between for me then was I was doing it, like you said, not for myself. I was doing it based on what other people had already heard me say in general.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, they find this funny, and I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it to.
You've essentially found your cadence. Is really
Yeah.
You found it, or you're still working on it. Like I mean, it does take a long time to get it. I'm sure you still get off stage, Jordan, and be like, I could have said it this way, or I should have paused here. Like I'm sure you still do that.
100%.
But yeah, like it's what I'm saying. You guys said at this point you know how you like to speak. You know, you know how you like to, you know, relay your sense of humor, and all it is now is just tweaking it and working it, trimming fat, and building things and staying disciplined.
Yep.
You know?
And I think, Paul, if you changed your whole persona based on what advice you got, it's not going to be authentic.
No,
people are going to see right through it, and you're not going to have fun. You're not going to enjoy doing it at all.
Yeah, and the only reason like I said this to you too, you heard this on Monday, when I did that set at Barley Mow, which was like, again, it was at this point I'm used to not getting like, you know, like sentence laugh. Sentence, laugh. Sentence, laugh. You know, like some comedians, every 15 seconds they have a laugh, and it's calculated and it's you know, great. But I tried to talk more and tell a story about what I did, and tried to add humor in, because I'm trying to work on things I'm not good at, not change who I am, but be able to. When it get to the point where I have more time, I'm able to, instead of coming up, so let's say I have 8 like 45-second to 1 minute jokes, okay? Instead of having in 6 minutes, instead of having let's say I'm given 25 minutes, then I have to have 45-second to 1 minute jokes. You get where I'm going with this? Instead of coming up with like a whole bunch of new stuff, I can slow it down, and maybe and within those 8 jokes, I can get that sentence, laugh, sentence, laugh. Sort of like David Drake.
Exactly.
You know, like when you had him on, I love watching his clips. You know, like I genuinely, truly love how he, you know, tells a story. He could shorten those things down to, you know, 1 minute, minute and a half, 2 minute bits, but he spaces them out and gets that laughter. And I admire that, especially as a comedian, to see that. You know, it's something to kind of like, oh man, like, you know, like that's kind of like. So you say I relate to Mitch Hedberg, and like I'm telling you, like I still admire, you know, Louis C.K. I still admire Bill Burr. I admire guys that can tell those stories and get that reaction. But anyway, I'm going too far down the hole here. But I when I see it and I can identify it, because I mean, we all know how they're doing. You know, like they're not just going up there and talking. You know, just go up there for an hour and just speak. You know, it might go well, but chances are, if you're doing that over and over and over again, it helps to have something in your back pocket.
No, for sure, man. No, very insightful discussion, and we will continue this on a future episode. But we got to get to our next segment, man, because some of us have to prep for a Leaf Sens game. But so we got to get to pet peeves, man. We are doing pet peeves today, so let's get to it.
I do, ba do, ba do, 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 ba do, yeah.
Oh, ich kann kotzen!
Ah, yes. I think this is our favorite segment, pet peeves. Still need to figure out what that person in the introduction is saying. We'll figure it out someday. All right, pet peeves. We are going to introduce something that really ticks us off. So, gentlemen, who wants to start, man? I'll leave it up to you guys. Who wants to start this one?
I'll go.
All right.
I'll go.
I can go first if you want.
I'll go. My
Okay.
biggest pet peeve right now is people who walk their dogs and don't pick up the dog's shit. I don't understand that. I really don't. Like you have the dog. You know the dog is gonna shit. You have one job outside of taking them out, and it's to bring a fucking poop bag and pick up your dog's fecal matter.
There's nothing more there's no worse of a look on a man's face when you're walking by them, and they're like, it's early in the morning and it's just you in the park or on a path, and someone's like waiting for their dog to shit. You're looking at the dog shitting.
Yeah.
He's like getting a bag ready and then picking it up. Like, he hates the fact that I'm walking by right now. He wishes that there's no other human being seeing them do that.
But
so
at least he's picking it up, you know?
Yeah.
Because I hate it. I walking around on a sidewalk with a nice pair of shoes, and let's say some family doesn't want to move out of the way. So what do I have to do? I have to get off the sidewalk and walk into the grass. And the worst thing in my nice pair of shoes that I want to do is step in somebody's dog shit because they were too good to bend over and take care of what they're supposed to take care of. Okay? So now I've ruined my shoes for your dog and your laziness, and then my whole day is ruined because I got to try to scrape dog shit off of my nice kicks. Okay? Just pick up your fucking dog's shit.
Did you know that they did a study on I'm sure you can find this somewhere, but that there's a high percentage of dogs, it's enough in like the 70% mid 70s of dogs that when they bend over, squat to do their business, they're always pointing magnetically north.
Yes.
Have you heard that?
Yes,
Yeah,
I have.
yeah,
I have.
Yeah, like they're always
Yeah.
they turn their bodies. They're always facing the magnetic north, I think.
They have to be aligned a certain way because my dog's done it looking in our backyard different directions, but always aligned the same way, the north, south, or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah,
You're right. They have to be aligned a certain way, which is bizarre. But Jordan, on that, I've had some people, like we have a very small front lawn. Yeah. I've seen dogs crap at the end of my driveway, like on the grass on my property. So that means that someone's been walking their dog, has observed their dog crapping on my lawn, didn't pick it up, off they went. I'm like, if I ever see you do that,
you take a 9-iron to their head. You're gonna take a 9-iron to their head.
I'm like, take a 9-iron to the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you ignorant SOB. Like that is the ultimate ignorance and arrogance and just I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. That's so aggravating.
You know what you do, Dave? You take your sand wedge, you line up the piece of shit, and you fucking pitch it right at them.
I haven't been there. Like, I haven't been there.
Dave,
I've observed it after. So
whatever you do, don't putt it. Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, if it's the summer, it's not gonna be like you can't just drive it because it's gonna splatter. I mean, I don't want to get too graphic here, but
why you take the wedge?
You know what I'm saying?
You lob it right back at them. You forgot this, bud.
Tee it up. Pull out the big stick. You know.
The problem is I haven't seen it. I've seen it. I found the crap, so I didn't actually see it happen. Right. So I don't know who it is. It could be anybody.
Follow them next time and then shit on their lawn. Not your dog. Just you take shit on their lawn.
I can't do that in public, man. I wouldn't.
I'll do it. I'll follow the guy. Take a shit on their lawn.
I love it, man. That is awesome. All right, that's a great pet peeve. Thank you, Jordan. Paul, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go next?
Sure, yeah. I have a pet peeve with I have a pet peeve with movies on Netflix, okay? That are like the title of the movie is like a foreign affair, or it's like the hard road, or like evil ways, or like the seventh realm, or whatever. And then you click on it and it's fucking Bollywood. Like Netflix releases like 4 new things. You're talking to somebody who's damn well finished Netflix. Like there's only, I'd say, I'm not kidding when I tell you, there's no exaggeration. I'm in the mid 90s percentile of all the movies on Netflix I've seen. I've watched like the most obscure ones that like don't even pop up on the exciting movies, blockbuster movies, but what to watch next, but like there's so many movies that are like like Spanish, Chinese, like Indian, or like just a different language. Like you click on something that's like like fight to death, and you click on it and it's like do sung kao and chu fo hai, and you're like, fuck man, like how did I watch this for? And it's like I can't understand it. Get your own Netflix, Like, that's racist. No, it isn't. Just like it's like, God, can I not say anything without it being racist? I just don't want to be duped by like I don't have to click on it and start it and then like not understand it. And like, what do you expect me to do here? I get you're gonna you want to include everybody here, but like, can we have parts of the world that that have your own category for it, like Mexican films. Like, just have it. It's not.
Can't do that. That would be racist.
I don't hate Koreans. I don't hate Indians. I just hate when they fool you with an English name and it's like it's a white person on the cover too. The picture that they use. Oh man.
Yeah, segregate movie categories.
Just segregate, just so that I don't have to click on them, because it's Netflix's like sneaky little ploy to get people to watch their movies.
Yep.
Call the movie show how you do. Call it that. I won't.
Holy shit! I love this movie.
I'm still gonna watch Netflix, but like I'm probably gonna watch something I've seen already. Don't tell me that it's like yeah. So that is a pet peeve of mine.
Oh my goodness.
Although I will say there's some Netflix series where like they dub it. Like there's a French.
Yes, but that series. You know what? That sucks because the actors who dub them.
Yeah.
Like you when you listen to like Van Damme, like you took me using any technique that worked. You can tell it's Van Damme's voice. You can tell his enthusiasm. You can tell his and then but the actor is like, you taught me using any technique that works. Never doing that myself there once. Are you gonna go there? And then the person's like, and it's like, man. Now again, I've watched a few of them. I've watched a couple that are dubbed, and they're pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm specifically searching for I like outdoor movies. I like survival movies, like The Edge. I've seen The Edge 150 times at least. I love movies that like people go out in the wilderness and like a bear is like tracking them, or wolves. You know what I mean? Or like. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And I watched a couple foreign films that are still pretty good, right? But it's not to say that I hate them. It's just I knew going in what it was because I Googled outdoor movies,
right.
And I looked at it and it's like this one's was made in Sweden, and I watched it. There's some really good ones out there, right? And like you put up with it, you understand. It's just the sneaky. Pre-planned, like they're trying to get you to watch the movie, and they're trying to trick you essentially by the name of the movie and not letting you know that it's a foreign film. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like they duped you, man, and you're pissed off because they duped you.
It's just 5 extra thumb clicks that I don't need to do.
I love it, man. Great pet peeve. So I will finish it off with there's 2 parts to this one. 2 parts. Part one. I live in suburbia, Stittsville. Fairly, I've been in this house about 15 years, but when we first moved in, it was a brand new neighborhood. So over the years, there's been a lot of door-to-door salespeople. So that's part one. I can't stand door-to-door salespeople for a couple of reasons. No, and I don't. It's not against the people. It's about the idea of going door-to-door to sell whatever the hell you're selling. Because when you ring my doorbell, my dog goes ballistic. Okay, and my dog is whatever, 40 pounds. It's hard to corral this dog and get her away from the front door when there's somebody standing there. So I kind of like have to slip through the door and talk to people outside. In the winter, it's a pain in the butt. That's number one. Can't stand door-to-door salespeople. So eventually I got smart after 15 years. Took me 15 years to put up a no soliciting sign.
Yeah.
However,
Unless it's prostitution.
yeah, this is part two. Despite the sign that says no solicitation, I still have people coming to my front door, ringing the doorbell, and trying to sell me stuff. I'm to the point now, I go to the door and I point to the sign, I say, go away. Like, I'm not even nice about it anymore. And the last two have been Jehovah's Witnesses. I swear to God.
There's a comedian.
I'm like, leave now.
I can't remember the comedian's name, Dave, but I can't remember who it was.
God.
I don't know if Jeremy Hutz, who it was, but some comedian has a joke about that where he's like, I found a way to like really get them to get off your doorstep. Is like you open the door and the people are like, hi, do you have a moment to talk about Christ? And you go, Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't have any of those. Yeah, I don't have any of those. Come in.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, we're good.
It's so annoying. And I'm to the point where maybe I'll just open the door and let my dog at them. But anyway, it's, you know what? If you can't read the no solicit, well, obviously they see it. But my God, I don't know what to do, man. It just drives me nuts because it's total chaos in my house. Someone rings the bell, it's chaos. I got to deal with the dog. I got to deal with the front door. I got to deal with my wife yelling at me, saying, "Get the door! Somebody get the dog!" I'm like, oh.
Put a General Lee flag up. What's that flag called? The Confederate flag?
Yeah.
Yeah. You might get other solicitors though, eh? You might get solicitors.
Hey,
you got a moment to talk about Christ?
Yeah. I noticed your flag. You voting for Pierre Poilievre this year?
You got a moment to talk about guns? Yeah. And all
the word of a lie.
Stinky, all the
I had,
and
I'm not going to tell you my political affiliation, but I had a liberal canvasser came to my door on Friday because it's election time Monday, rang the doorbell 3 times. I didn't answer the door. I was watching him from upstairs. I could see him. He couldn't see me. 3 times. And then he's poking his eyes into my window. He's looking around my house, looking for people. I thought,
goddamn liberals.
I'm not saying it because it's a liberal.
No idea what they say.
Like, you're looking around my house, buddy. Like, what are you doing? That's fucking creepy.
You just lost my vote.
Green party all the way, baby. I thought, who looks in people's houses after you rang the bell 3 times? Like, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
You better fucking vote. You better fucking vote or I'm coming back to this house.
Oh, man. Anyway, I guess it's just me. All right. We've been over an hour. We got to get to final thoughts. Final thoughts, baby, for episode 55. Yes. Paul, let's start with you. Your final thought for episode 5.
My final thought is I just hope that both teams have fun tonight, and that no one gets hurt, and that we all get along. You know, I hope for that, right? I
boxes after the game.
You want to avoid talking to if they don't win tonight, I might not talk to my sister for the next week. You know, just to let people get over that kind of thing. But I have a few shows May coming up that are like, you know, stuff. I've been pretty busy the last month, you know, which is pretty good.
Yep.
And like it's funny to say, like, man, I gotta slow down with all this work, you know. I really gotta take it easy here. Like, it's getting out of hand, you know. 2 hours this week. Yeah, but yeah, things are starting to pick up. They may slow down, you know, as they may pick up faster. Who knows? But stay disciplined, guys.
All right, great. And you know what? If you worked 2 hours last week, that's an hour more than me. So there you go,
There you
baby.
go. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Look forward to your upcoming shows. Thank you for your final thoughts, Jordan. Your final thought, episode 55.
Yeah, I got some good news. Lately I've been a little bit less of the shows. I haven't been as busy, which is it was kind of nice. I did need that, so I'm not really too upset about that. We got some shows coming up in May, and then, like I said already earlier on the show, tickets will be going on sale soon for the Battle of Ontario.
Yes, sir.
Some very big shows. Tomorrow, I'm helping Monica with a fundraiser. It's the Daffodil Morning Cancer Society fundraiser. So she's already met her goal way before the show already started.
It's awesome.
But please, if you want to come out, there's going to be coffee, there's going to be tea, there's going to be snacks. We have a live musician that'll be playing. We got lots of prizes. It's going to be a fun event. The good news I have, actually, and I've been a little bit down about this for a little bit.
Down about good news too, Jordan?
I know.
Christ.
I know. We all know that the Mill Tavern's open mic was shut down for a while because of renovations.
Is it happening?
But due to popular demand, we are coming back, baby.
Woo! Let's go.
Yep. A little bit of
That's awesome, man.
I can't confirm when because they're still renovating. They're still renovating, but they want it back. We're coming back.
Sundays at noon.
That's Sundays at noon.
Let's go, man. That's great news, man.
Yeah.
I love that room.
So if
great
you've
room.
been close to
Woo!
me, kind of know everything that's been going on. That was the thing I was most sad about, was that we weren't able to go back there. But thank you guys. Thanks for everybody who's reached out,
Yes,
who's commented on my post, who's been kind of like poking, hey, we want the tavern back. What's going on? We want the open mic back. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
That's great
Good
news,
stuff.
man.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Congrats, man. That's a great room. Love it, man. Love it. All right. Thank you, Jordan. And
Thank
my
you.
final. Sorry.
Thank you.
have
Thank you.
Okay, cool.
You're welcome.
What? My final thought. I'm still mad about this, man. You door-to-door salespeople, if there is a no I've lost Paul already. If there's a no solicitation sign on the door, you do not ring the doorbell. Don't ring it.
Leave him alone.
Let me watch my Leafs and Sens in peace.
I can't stand people knocking on my door. Like, if you knock on my door,
Can't stand it.
If I don't know you're coming over, probably not gonna answer the door.
It's like the,
my door,
yeah.
like my doorbell, not doorbell. If someone knock on my door and I go like this, I go.
It's the drop in. It's the drop in. I hate the drop in, especially if you're selling me something and it says no solicitation.
Yeah.
Don't come to my door.
Yeah.
All right. With that.
The most antisocial comedians you'll ever find.
With that, thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Paul. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And we will see you all for a little bit of a more calm down version of the Six Nuts podcast. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Ghost.